What's up, everybody? Carla Starla here. I wanted to make a short video about tips for introverts who experience loneliness. It's a natural human emotion, and it's something that a lot of people go through. You're not alone in that experience of having loneliness. Okay, so the most important thing with loneliness is to always remember that you always have the ability to move yourself out of that energy. And it's going to take some courage. It's going to take some, you know, insight. It's going to take some action. And so, some of the tips that I have, because I want to try to make this short, because I could babble on and on and on about my own experiences of how I went through, experiencing loneliness in my younger days. So, one good tip, okay, is if you're in that space where you're starting to feel alone, pick up your phone. Now, don't go through Facebook. I'm saying look at your phone, because in your phone are people that actually have your phone number. Those are people that you actually talk to. And just scroll through. And you might have those days where, even with you feeling lonely, you can scroll through all your contacts in your phone and not want to call anybody. And that's okay. But what this tip is for is just to remind you of who you do have in your phone. Who are the people that have your phone number that can actually call you and you be okay with that? So, those people you can consider friends, people that you like, people that may know you. And, so as you go through your phone and all your contacts, if you go through and you realize that there's nobody that you actually feel like calling at that moment, that's fine. I've made the mistake of going through my contacts. I wouldn't call it necessarily a mistake, but it was a learning experience. I was a little manic, and I admit I probably called like 30 people and left like 30 messages, because looking back on my own experiences, I knew if I called people like around 4:50 that they probably weren't going to pick up, because they were trying, that's not a good time to call somebody. But for an introvert, doing a little self sabotage on that exercise. But, I left like 30 messages. And then for the next few days, my phone was blowing up because everybody was calling me back. And I was a little like, whoa. But it helped, because it helped me reconnect with some of my friends that I care about. So when you go through your phone, just take my lesson into account, my experience that I'm sharing with you into account. If you start leaving messages or you call people at times when you know they're not going to pick up, just be honest with yourself about what you're doing, because this is just an exercise for you to help yourself move out of this space of loneliness that you're experiencing, right? Okay. So, another tip that I have is going for a walk. Now, it doesn't matter what the temperature is, you can do it. If it's cold outside, whatever, bundle up. Just get yourself outside, okay? And when you get yourself outside to go for a walk, it could just be around the block, it could be up the street slowly and back down the street, but you have to get clothes on and you have to go outside. Okay? So then when you're outside and you're going for this walk, become aware of your surroundings. Like, look around you, see what is around you. Look at the sky. See, like, is the sky blue today? What are the colors? Are there clouds? Do you see birds? Look around for wildlife. Do you see rabbits? Do you see squirrels? Do you see crows? Do you see ravens? Do you see butterflies, depending on the weather? Just be aware of the wildlife that's happening around you on this walk. And just look at it, take some deep breaths and just realize that you are in a world that is just always moving. And in those spaces where you feel like you're alone, this is a good time to just kind of be aware of your surroundings. And part of this exercise is that if you're looking around and you're walking, and if you're in an area, where maybe you come across another person walking, if you make eye contact with them, smile and just keep moving. You don't have to say anything, but it's the same way of just acknowledging, oh, look, there's another human in my presence, and I have compassion in my heart, and I'm just going to smile at them. And honestly, if you're smiling at them from a space of maybe loneliness a little bit, your smile is going to be authentic. It's going to be more authentic because it's a gesture, and you're going to be aware of the gesture. Now, I went through an exercise of smiling at people when I used to walk dogs. I walked dogs for 5 years, Monday through Friday, 6 hour days. And I made this a practice to smile at every person. And I'll admit, it was hard because there were some days where I didn't want to smile. And that's when I realized I needed to work on myself to where I could show up every day to be able to smile at people. And it was a great exercise. It was a great learning exercise. Sometimes you can smile at people and you might, not get a positive response at all. You might piss them off. They might get very upset with you. Just keep it moving and don't take it personally. And realize that it's just a gesture, and sometimes people may not want to be seen, but the fact that you're willing to see them does mean something. And I have to say, years and years and years later, from my practice of learning how to smile at people, I do it unconsciously all the time to where people will come up to me after I smile at them and just say, hey, excuse me, I just want to let you know that your smile made my day. Thank you. And I'm like, oh, did I smile at you? Okay, that's awesome. I'm happy. Thank you. I mean, you're welcome. And so it's just a part of me now that really helps me when I'm out and about, and I like being aware of my surroundings. So if I tend to make eye contact with a lot of people, and I will smile because that's what I do. And so it helps. So that's another tip. Another tip is to um, look at, especially as an introvert, if you go through your contacts and you didn't want to call anybody, then it's an opportunity for you to kind of think about that and think about, okay, when I'm ready to talk to somebody, who would I call? And so you got to kind of set yourself up for that time and that person, and actually, reach out, have a conversation. What are some other tools for introverts? Um, Other things that I've done, I guess, are trying to figure out, when you do spend time alone and you have time to yourself, what are some of the projects that you've been putting off that you're not doing because you're thinking about, loneliness or something? So you can actually take that energy and put it into something. Put something into your hands that you can work on. You know, um, think about ways that you can figure out as an introvert, what are you willing to go out to do? If it's going to the movies and you like to go by yourself, maybe there's someone that you could call that go with you. You guys don't have to talk. You could just go to the movies and, share space. Maybe there's some people that you could call that you could share, you know, positive things that are going on with yourself, talk about your dreams and plans to those people that actually are the ones that look out for you and like to hear your your progress in the world. Those people are most likely in your phone. So I guess the main tip that I keep falling back on, that's a little more doable and effective, is just going through your phone and looking at your contacts and looking at your friends in there and deciding which ones that you want to talk to, and talk to somebody. Talk to a few somebodies. Have some conversations with other people instead of listening to that chatter in your head telling you how lonely you feel. Okay, so I think that's about it, because if I keep rambling on, it's going to be maybe longer than I need it to be. So thank you for listening. Please share this with all your friends, because we want to give everybody the opportunity in the world to understand that loneliness is an energy that you can move out of. You don't have to stay stuck in it. It's not there forever. It doesn't have to be. You have absolute power to shift that energy and to bring it into a space of understanding that you do have friends and that you do care about others and that there are some people out there in the world that you actually love and like. So you just have to reconnect yourself to them, reconnect yourself with nature, and just ground into that understanding that you can change it. Thanks for listening.